What's up, CodefForge here. Today I have a second part of the Linux terminal basics for you. In the last video we have learned the ls command, which stands for listing. It allows us to list the content of the directories. Next one was cd command, which stands for change directory, and we have used it to navigate. The last one was pwd, which stands for print working directory. So if you didn't see the previous video, I encourage you to check it out. First command which we will learn today, and this is one of the most important commands, is the man command. It stands for manual and it allows us to display the description of the command. So for example, if we use the man and we want to check out the description of the ls command, we can say man ls, hit enter, and the manual for the ls command appears, and we can see that in the first place the name is described, so ls stands for list directory contents. After that we have the synopsis, and in the synopsis we can check out how to actually use the command. So we have to type ls, we have the options section where we can use flags which are described below, and then we can type the name of the file. The last section is the description section where we can read something more about the command itself, and also we have the list of all the flags or options which we can use. If the list is too long, we can use the J key on the keyboard to go one line down, and the K key on the keyboard to go one line up. Because under the hood of the main command, the ls command is being used, so this is why we are able to navigate. To leave the manual, we can simply hit the Q on the keyboard and we are back in the terminal. If you want to check out the manual of the man command, you can simply type man and man again, and after hitting enter, the description or the manual of the man command appears. So it is pretty cool. Now let's say we want to navigate to this location, to the home documents. We have learned some commands in the previous video, so it will be easy. We are in the home directory, so we can simply use the cd command, and we want to type documents using the tab autofill, and we hit enter. Let's say in this documents directory we want to create a text file, and it is not that easy because if we right click we have no option to create the text file like in the Windows. We can of course go back to the home and open the templates directory, and over here we can click the learn more. So we can read that we can use some text editor to create some templates, save them over here, so it will be available later from the context menu. But we are pro and we want to use the console to create our files. To create files, we can use the touch command, and let's check out the manual for it. So we say man touch, and over here in the name we can read that it is used to change file timestamps, and it's weird. But over here we can read that a file argument that does not exist is created empty, and this is what we want. So we can leave from here. And we can create a new file by saying touch, and let's call it my file, and we want the extension text. We hit enter and we can see that it appears on the left side. So it was pretty easy. Now let's say we want to write something to this file without opening it. So we will use the man command in the first place together with the echo command. And if we hit enter, we can see that this echo command allows us to display a line of text, and we will use it to write to the file. If we simply use the echo command like this, so we say echo, this is some text, we can see that it is this text is being displayed to the console, and we can change it by changing the output from the console to our file. So we can use the echo command again, and we want to say this is some text. And now we can use one of two operators. We have the single greater than operator and double greater than operator. The first one is overwriting the content of the file, and the second one is appending the content at the end. So let's say we want to use the first one, so if there is something in the file, it will be cleared. And now we have to point to which file we want to redirect the output of the echo command, and we say myfile.txt and we hit enter. Let's clear it. Now to display the content of our file, we can use the cat command, which stands for concatenate, and by passing the name of our file. So if we hit enter, we can see that in our file we have this is some text string. Let's play a little bit with those redirection operators. So we want to echo again, and we want to say some more text. And we'll use double redirection operator, which should append the text at the end of the file. So we say myfile.txt. We want to display the content using cat command, and we hit enter. And there is our text. So now let's overwrite it. So we use the echo, nothing here text. We want to use the single redirection operator, and we are pointing out our file. We hit enter. Now we can cut it, and we have the nothing here. So you can see that the content of the file has been overridden. We know how to work with the files, so now we move to the directories. To create the directories, we can use the mkdir command. So we type mkdir command, and let's say our directory will be called mydir. We hit enter, and we can see the directory has been created. Now we want to move our file inside the directory, because this is why we are using directories, right? And we can use the move command to do it. So we say mv, and the first thing we have to pass is the source, and our source is myfile.txt, and the second argument is the destination, so it is our directory, and we can hit enter. Now let's list the content of the mydir directory, and we can see that myfile.txt is inside. Let's go inside our directory, and let's try to rename our file inside. And to do it, we can use the mv command also, because it is also used to rename the files. And let's say we want to rename myfile.txt to mynewfile.txt. We can hit enter, list the content, and you can see that the name has been changed. And now let's check the content. We say cat my new file, and you can see that the content has been unchanged. We know how to create files, we know how to rename them, modify them inside. So now let's say we want to learn how to delete them. It's pretty simple. We can use the rm command. So we go over here, we say rm, which stands for remove, and we say mynewfile.txt. We hit enter, and we can see that our file has been removed. You can do exactly the same for the directories, but only if they are empty. If they are not empty, we have to use some flags. So in the first place, let's create some files. So it will be file1.txt and file2.txt. You can see that we can also create multiple files using the touch command. So we hit enter, and we have the file1 and file2. So now let's go back one level up. Let's clear it, and let's try to remove this directory. Let's go one level up. So we want to cd double dots, and now we want to remove our directory by saying remove mydir. We hit enter. We got a message that it cannot be removed because it is a directory, but we can actually do it by saying rm and by using r flag, which stands for recursive. So the files inside will be deleted in the first place, and then the directory. So we say mkdir and we hit enter. And as we can see, our directory has been removed. Next thing I want to cover is copying. First, let's create two directories. So we say mkdir source will be the first one and the target will be the second one. Now inside the source, we will create a file. So we want to say touch, and in the source, we want the myfile.txt. Let's go inside the source file. I'm in directory and let's clear it. Let's put some text inside our myfile.txt. So we say echo full text, and we want to redirect the output to our file. We hit enter. We can display the content and it's there. It is ready to go, so we can go level up. Now let's say we want to copy myfile.txt from the source directory to the target directory. So we say cp, which stands for copying, and we want to copy from the source myfile.txt, and we want to copy to the target. We hit enter, and if we list the content of the target directory, we can see the myfile.txt is there, and we can also cut the content of the target myfile to check out if the content is there, and you can see that it's there. Now let's say we want to make a backup of our source directory. So we have to say cp, we have to use the R flag for the recursive, so the content of the directory will be copied. And now we want to copy the source, and we want to copy it to the source-backup. If we hit enter, we can see that the source backup has been created. And let's check out the content. So we ls source backup. Our file is there, so let's check out if it has the content. So we say cat source backup my file, and the content is there. Okay guys, this is all for today. If you have watched the previous video and this one, you should be pretty familiar with the Linux terminal. If you would like to see more of my content, remember about liking the video, subscribing to my channel to stay updated, and also about leaving comments. See you next time!